Hello, Noha. Noha is such a beautiful name, honestly. It's so I haven't seen it a lot lately. Have you guys seen the name Noha around recently? I love your name, Noha. Yumna, you can't hear me as well. Interesting. Can you guys try turning up the volume? I'll try seeing if I can turn up my mic too. Is this any better? Hello. Hi. Anybody? Yumna, Faris, can you guys hear me better now? Firas, hello. Yes, I did. Couldn't catch the heart. I turned up the audio. This is like max. Is it still too low or is it good? You can still hardly hear me? Shaymat, what's going on? Oh, there we go. Firas is good. All right, Soda's saying it's good. Shaymat, try turning up the volume on your end, my dear. Much better? All right, let's go. Everybody can hear me? Yeah. Hello, hello. Oh, we have two Shaymats. Nice. Oh, we got three Shaymats. Nice. I haven't had this many Shaymats in one session in a very long time. All right, good. All right, everybody can hear me. Nice, nice, nice. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Now, someone asked me a question that was very, very good. She said, I want to practice my language with a native speaker. Why is my question. Any idea? Is it beneficial? Is it not beneficial? What's the purpose? Hi, Mezen. Good morning, Khalil. I've been asking you this entire time if you can hear me clearly. To improve your English, nice, beneficial, okay. To improve your English, nice. So when you're talking with a native speaker, why is it different? Like, what happens to get the right accent? Sort of, okay. So you're listening to the right accent when you're talking to someone, makes sense. Can learn nature language with him. Shaymet, it's nature. Oh, you mean like the natural language that he produces when he's speaking or when she's speaking? Okay, makes sense. Nice. Hello, Ayat. Easily communicate, Shaymet. That is a brilliant point. We're gonna come back to that. Because you can get the right accent and the native person could correct your English mistakes. Interesting. Okay, okay. All right. Very good, very good. So when I'm talking to someone that's a native speaker, when I'm talking to someone who only speaks English, the the amount of language that I hear and the amount of language that I use is better than when I speak to someone and they reply in Arabic, right? Also, you guys let me know if I'm talking too fast and you want me to slow down. It will be easy to enhance my. All right, okay. So English is important these days, right? To pronounce the words well, learn idioms, practice connected speech. Those things non-native speakers don't usually do. Exactly, Mrs. Shipment. Thank you. Thank you. That's where the trick is at. To be up to date with the natives and be quick as them. Oh, to be as quick as them. A lot of people feel like when I'm fluent or in order to be fluent, I need to be able to speak 3,000 words in 1 second. That's not how that is it? Agreed. Ooh, Shema says, well, another Shema said a very interesting point. When you're talking to a native speaker, the only way to communicate is to speak in English. So this forces you to use your language and forces you to try to understand whatever they're saying, however they're saying it. That's actually a very good point. It's a very, very good point. All right, so here's my question. Um, true or false, when I'm talking to someone, native speaker or not, oh, sorry, Musab, I can speak slower, yes. So when I'm talking to someone, when I'm talking to a native speaker, when I'm speaking with a native speaker, okay, and I feel a little bit lost, do you think that having a lot of vocabulary and learning or knowing a lot of grammar is going to help me? Is that enough? It's not enough. No. Why? You have to practice. Practice what, Firas? Also, very interesting name. Very, very interesting name. It's listening and speaking are more important. Sada, I think we're going to be friends. Hmm. Vocab and syntax. Okay. Hmm. Speaking. All right. So it's not enough to just memorize a bunch of vocabulary, correct? It's not enough to just sit there and hold a dictionary and start memorizing all the different definitions. And it's even worse if I start memorizing the words and their meanings in Arabic. This will make me feel safe, but it will not help me use it. This is really important. Using the words in a context. Ooh, Shaymat, that's a very good point. So let's build on the point that Shaymat mentioned right now. Using words in context is very important. That's how you communicate correctly, right? It's the same thing when you're learning. If I don't pick up the language or if I don't pick up the vocabulary in context, if I completely take it outside or out of context, it's not going to be as effective and I will not be able to practice it correctly. When I try to use it myself, it will be incorrect because I don't have the context that I was supposed to be using it in, right? They're asking in the chat, my dear. Expressing about thoughts is crucial. Amani, can you please explain that a little bit? What do you mean? Iyad. Hello, Iyad. Because speaking with native speakers improves your language skills quickly. You'll get to hear the language spoken in real life situations and will help you gain confidence in your ability to communicate effectively. That is actually very good. Now, here's my question. Do I need a native speaker only for me to gain confidence to enter a conversation and to practice how I deliver my message and how to get a conversation going? Is it only possible with a native speaker? And my listening skills. Can I only develop my listening skills with a native speaker? No, it is not true, right? So, what can I do? Listening is really important. And I know this is a conversation course, which is like the opposite skill, where you're supposed to be producing the language and you're supposed to use the language that you have. However, listening is the building block. Listening and repeating ahlam is a very good point. However, I do need to make sure that I'm listening a lot. Me and Dr. Khalil say this all the time. You want to see a really big improvement in your language. You want to really feel that you can understand and communicate whatever the amount of language that you have, then you really need to listen. Listening is really important. And this is a little bit easier for people who are living abroad. Like if you're living in one of the native English speaking countries, like the US or the UK or even Dubai, I think has a lot of native English speakers now. It's a lot easier because you have everyone speaking in English around you. And so you're forced to pick up these different scenarios and these different situations and then put two and two together. And this leaves no time for you to be scared or worried about what the actual word is in Arabic first, and then I translate it, right? It's the same thing. But because most of us live in Egypt or in an Arabic speaking country, what we do is we focus on listening the most. And someone mentioned, I think it was Shemet, she mentioned about how when you're speaking to a native speaker, you pick up the natural language that they use. And so this is why usually English instructors or conversation course instructors like me, we always recommend that you watch sitcoms or series or things that have natural language being used in context, right? To have output, there must, oh yes, Rafat. I don't know if that's Rafat or Rafat. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, but yes, to have output, there must be input, right? However, a lot of people have a lot of input, okay? You've got a lot of it. However, you don't really use it. So, for example, I think it's Rifat, I'm not sure. If I have a lot of vocabulary and I understand everything that Aya is saying, everything is clear, I've got no problems with it, and I'm able to reply to Aya. If what is stopping me from replying is that there's a specific word I need to use that I don't know what it is, usually I have 10 other words that I can use, right? Yes, Muhammad Samir, the session is recorded. So, what I'm trying to say, Rafat, is that when I'm speaking, if I want to develop my skill, I cannot keep stopping and looking for a specific word in Arabic and then looking for the equivalent in English and then trying to use it in context and in grammar correctly. That we're human, right? We're human. So, what we're trying to do with the communication skills part or with the speaking skills part is that you need to try to remove this relationship between the Arabic and the English. I want there to be only a connection between the meaning of what you're saying and the word itself. So when I want to say something, this meaning is connected to English words, not connected to Arabic first. Now, what the mistake is that people make is that they feel like, oh, I don't understand or I can't speak because I don't have enough words. I don't have enough input. So they start making lists of vocabulary. They watch a movie, and instead of watching the movie, what they do is they write down a 200 notebook full of pages of vocabulary, endless vocabulary in English and in Arabic, right? Now, what they did in this situation, unfortunately, is that they maybe have created a good data, like something to use later, sure, but it will not last for a long time. This is the problem. And if I'm looking at speaking as a skill, not as something temporary for IELTS or for something important that I need for a short period of time and then I move on, then it's not very efficient or effective because I'm going to forget them after 2 weeks. There's no way I'm going to use all of the vocabulary all the time, right? I'm going to use a lot of it, sure. And the ones that I use are the ones that I'm going to remember. So then what do I do? What you should be doing is focusing on the context. This is what's going to help you pick up the different situations and help you memorize, not memorize per se, but like have more familiarity with this approach of using vocabulary, right? Go ahead, Ahlam. Your questions are more than welcome, my dear. Sarah, exactly. Using synonyms, using examples. All of these different ways are different things are ways for you to use your language. And that's what's going to help you make sure that you start to improve it. Let me just fix this real quickly so that we don't have any scribbles anywhere. There we go. Okay. So when I am used to the idea that I don't need a specific word to move on or to deliver a message, this actually is the first step that helps me when I'm learning as well. So when someone is speaking to me and there is a word that they said that I don't know, usually I stop and I freeze بفكر بالصيني and I absolutely lose track of the entire conversation, right? But if I'm used to the idea of picking up this new word per se through the conversation itself as a whole, then I'll be able to pick up all of the other vocabulary and all the other words that they used in this situation. And then I'll be able to use it myself. Make sense? How to think in English and not translate. Ahmed, basically, the not translating part is a habit, right? The reason why we translate is because we're worried that we might make a mistake, right? So, in order to overcome this, you have to start building a new habit of trying to use English or use the word that best delivers what you want to say without trying to think first about the word in Arabic and looking for the different synonyms that you can use. And Manny, I do have enough vocab and idioms, but when I've embraced speaking, I forget most of them. Yeah, that's exactly how it is, Imani, because you have the vocabulary, my dear, but you're not used to using them all the time, right? That's not something that is a thing. So that's why we have conversation courses. And that's why I am an angel that's going to force you to speak even if you don't want to. I have a question. I'm writing skill. In writing, I think I can't open mic because I don't have any power. I'm in. All right, Fedis, ask me the question. Where's the question, Fedis? um, pauses in speaking. Ahmed, you're asking why do people have pauses in speaking? So pauses in speaking happen when you are trying to find the word, for example, or Um, Usually when you're translating or if you're scared, sometimes people have a personality issue where you're a bit stressed in situations when you're talking to someone. And so sometimes it's a personality thing, sometimes it's a language skill or a language thing. It depends. So there are many reasons. One, it might be that you don't have enough input. Like I don't know if it was Feris or Rifat. Someone said enough input. Two, it might be a personality thing. So it's just in your personality to freak out or to worry or to be stressed when you're put in a specific situation. And three, it might be that you're looking for the word first. And so you stop and try to look for it to make sure that you have the right word or the best word. That is, if I write abbreviations and idioms in essays, are the essays going to be wrong? It depends on the essay, doesn't it? So usually, like, it depends on the curriculum or wherever you're writing this essay, but they do give you rules. There is like, please do not use abbreviations. Please don't use informal language. They give you things to make sure that you follow so that you can get the highest score. I'm not sure how IELTS is working, especially in general at the moment, because there is a creative writing task, but that's a question you'll need to ask Dr. Khalil. So I'm not giving you any wrong information. Riri, why do you suppose that all the attendants get what you are saying in such a fast way? You're giving me that amazing sentence, Riri, and you're telling me that you don't understand me. That beautiful sentence right there, that beautiful question, and you're telling me you don't understand what I'm saying. But you're right. You're right. I get excited when I'm talking about something I like. So when I get excited, I tend to speak a lot quicker. Just give me a reminder and I'll slow down. I talk to you after the lesson. Okay, Ahlam. I think I'm going to be giving you guys the message and the coordination as well. Rida, yes, there's always a conversation course. The difference between IELTS general and academic, quite a few differences. The reading articles are a bit more difficult, and because the vocabulary is a little more advanced. And the writing, I believe also there is a different task. Task one is different in both, if I'm not correct, if I'm not mistaken. But again, anything related to IELTS, you're gonna have to get back Dr. Khalil on that, so that I'm not giving you any wrong information. How can I learn a new word? Oh, Abdullah, that's a perfect example actually of memorizing. So Abdullah asked me this great question. He said, how can I save a new word? So saving a new word means that you're saving it on a computer or something like that, right? If I'm trying to say that the word itself is in my head, right? I don't save it. I'm not a machine, right? I memorize it, right? Or how do I remember it? Now, these differences are very small differences when it comes to speaking, but and usually people don't care. But when you're speaking and you're trying to be correct or you're trying to be very accurate, and especially if you're in an IELTS speaking exam, you need to be supernatural and you got to make sure that your choice of words is okay. How can you learn a new word? Basically, the best way to like always remember it in the long run is to first pick it up through context. So when you learn it or when you see it, and you want to write it down, for example, don't write it and then write the Arabic translation. Write the whole sentence, write the situation. Okay. And then accordingly, when you're trying to use it, you do the same. Any situation, any conversation, whenever you can, you try to bring it up and try to use it in a context or in a situation that is similar to the one that you picked it up in. Best links to improve listening. Best links to improve listening would probably be. Wait, hold on, Hanan. Are we talking about IELTS or are we talking about like general speaking, like general listening? So that when you're at work and you want to chill with your colleagues and you want to have a conversation, like that. Um, what is the best way to practice speaking for all my life, even we are in Arab countries? Listening and then speaking. So obviously, like globalization is a thing. So we have a lot of different people who can speak English, correct? And so if you work on your listening and you have this entire this base, let's say, of English, whenever you're with someone, especially someone that's trying to learn English too, and you speak, that's how it happens. It's very simple. It really is. The idea is time management mostly, but yeah. You like my thank you, Abdurrahman. Mr. Abdurrahman, thank you. My accent is it's okay. My secret is that I still have English like in my life, as it's an important part of my life every day, right? This is how I was able to maintain my English throughout the years I've lived in Egypt. I listen to English, I read English, I speak to English with friends and humans every day, all the time. So that's not really a secret, but it is my secret. Sure, Edie. Thank you for asking about the course. Finally, we can get down to business. The conversation course that I provide is basically a 5-week course. We've got 2 sessions a week. The sessions are production based, which means that there will be some time or like very little time of me speaking, and most of the time it's going to be you speaking. The idea is that you're supposed to be given this space where you are able to use your language a lot. It's not about me teaching you grammar or teaching you new vocabulary, although yes, vocabulary and new words are going to be introduced through the topics that we discuss. But our main goal is to be able to use the language that we have correctly and to increase it. This is what the conversation course is about. And how I do that through sessions and through tasks and follow-up assignments. So I have an entire team with me, and we work together to make sure that you have English in your day all the time, and you have something to do to work on it. Now, firstly, because Ridi asked a very good question regarding how I'm going to organize the students according to their levels, we have something called a voice note assessment, which is provided through this number. Miss Mohga is my wonderful, amazing, awesome coordinator. She is the operations manager, actually. And what I would like from you guys, if you guys are interested, what will happen is you guys are going to send Miss Mohga a message, and she will send you questions to answer. Now, here, this is very important. Please focus. When she sends you the questions, what you're going to do is you're going to go to my number and you're going to send me a voice note answering these questions. Now, I do have a couple of requests that you need to make sure that you guys are meeting when you're recording your answers. Number one, please do not write your answers down before you record the voice note. This is a speaking assessment. If you write and then read, there's no speaking. Make sense? Number two, try to be in a quiet area so that it's easier for me to hear the entire thing. Most of the time, I don't know why, a lot of people are recording their voice notes in transportation, and I'm just sitting here like this, like an old woman, and I can't hear anything. So to save my ears and your lives, please make sure that you're in a quiet area. Number three, try to give me as much detail as possible. When you answer the questions, don't give me very short answers. So, for example, one of the questions is, why do you want to improve your English? Don't tell me because it's important and stop. I need more, right? So give me details. Why? Why is it important to you? Have you tried learning it before? What ways worked with you? What ways did not work with you, right? So the more details you give me, the more language you show me, the easier and the better I will be able to give an assessment, and I know where to put you. Simple as that. So again, text Miss Mohga. She will send you my number and the questions you need to answer, sorry. Then you're going to send me a voice note. Do not write it down, please. Do not prepare your answers in Arabic. It's very important. Look at the question. If you're nervous, take a second, take a deep breath, and then record it. And last but not least, make sure that you're in a quiet area and a lot of detail in the answers. You have up to 2 minutes to answer. There are 3 questions. They are very simple questions. And when you answer them, like I said, it's just like it's not hard. They're not complicated questions at all. But the more detail you give me, the better I am able to assess your language. Okay? So that's the first step, right? After I have divided them and after I have put everybody in their classes, what you're going to do is, or what you're going to find is, you're going to have 2 days a week. You got 2 days with me. We're going to be in a group. We're going to be learning together. We're going to be discussing. We're having open discussions. We're going to have some exercises, breakout rooms, basically anything and everything to make you speak as much as possible. I will be correcting your mistakes. I'm going to be giving you better alternatives. So, for example, if there's a word that can be used in a context that is better, I will give you that word and I'll tell you to try to use it more often. As someone mentioned earlier, I think it was Mrs. Shaymet, when you're speaking to someone only in English, usually there is a lot of natural expressions and idioms and words that are used on the spot. So that also is going to be something I'm going to ask you to take notes of to make sure that you guys also have them and you guys can use them with me throughout the course. Now, when you're not in the course with me, there are a couple of tasks and assignments that are going to be with you. Let me get it. Hold on. We've talked about this a little bit. Let me show you the groups that we have. Oh, no. There we go. All right, so we've got two different kinds of tasks. We've got two different tasks other than my sessions, right? We've got daily tasks and we've got weekly tasks. The daily tasks are done by our coordinators. We've got a specific coordinator that is going to be providing you with a daily video and question that you guys are required to watch and answer and engage on the discussion group. Now, when you answer in a 1-minute voice note, she's going to send you all of the instructions that you need. She's going to listen to the voice note and then she's going to give you feedback on your pronunciation, on your grammar, on your vocabulary, and accordingly, you guys are going to be working on it every day. Then we've got the weekly tasks. We've got two other wonderful coordinators who are in charge of two different things. One is in charge of the examophones, which is basically a conversation over the phone. What happens is that she calls you over an app and you guys have a conversation for about 10 to 15 minutes and you guys discuss maybe some of the topics that we've discussed earlier in our sessions or something like that. And after you have finished the phone call, she's going to send you a voice note with all of the feedback and all the mistakes and all of the recommendations and suggestions that she has for you to work on your language. The second thing is a weekly voice note. Now, the weekly voice note is going to be a bit longer. This is a little bit more structured than the daily voice note. The daily voice note is more about fluency. The weekly voice note is more about your ability to structure your answers and to think and give a very good quality answer. For those of you who are trying to take the IELTS, it's similar to task 2 of the speaking exam. She's going, or our instructor or our coordinator is going to give you a topic. You are going to read the topic and you're going to send her a 2-minute voice note speaking about this topic. Simple. After she listens to it, she will also send you a voice note giving you details and feedback and so on and so forth. Now, you've got daily tasks, you've got weekly tasks, and you've got your sessions with me. I will also be giving you guys assignments. The assignments are not hard, I promise. The only thing that is a little bit challenging in my course is that I prioritize listening and speaking so much that I will be assigning a lot of things to you guys. So I will be asking you to please prioritize your time and manage your time accordingly. That is the only tricky part, to find time. I know we are all busy and we all have lives to lead and so on and so forth, but if you prioritize all the assignments that I give you, I promise within 2 weeks you'll find a very big difference in the way you speak and also in the way you think, right? Let's see. I'm so sorry I forgot to look at all the questions. How long? The course is 5 weeks, 2 sessions a week. Every session is 2 hours. Must I have listening knowledge? Of course, must I have. Listening is important, but obviously I'm here for a reason, so I will be helping you with every step of the way. Don't worry. Really, yes. The material that I prepare is material that is based on the group that I have and also their skills and also the general level because I teach the intermediate level. So I've got intermediate, upper intermediate, advanced 1, and advanced 2. Put them all in sentences. Exactly, Abdullah. Guys, listen, Abdullah said something really, really good. Do we have time? Yes, okay. Abdullah said a really interesting thing. He said, it's hard when I find like over 100 words, it's hard to put them all in sentences. Exactly. So it's not a good idea to sit down and have 200 words, right? And create your own mini dictionary. Don't do that. Instead, you watched the movie and you found like you got 5 new words. That's perfect. Why? Because you need the context of these words. Those 5 words are going to stick with you for the rest of your life. Why? Because you've learned them through context. They make sense to you. They're not just a bunch of letters squished together. You get what I mean? I learned a few British English pronunciation in my childhood, but when I grew up, I found all the courses are for English. I have to learn British American. So this is a very good question, Ragda. Um, a lot of people think that one accent is better than the other, British or American, and that's actually not fair, right? Because they're two different countries, they're two different cultures. So it's not about which one is better; it's about which one is more important or more relevant to you. So, for example, Ragda, if you are a teacher in a British school, then I'm assuming British is probably going to be easier for you, so that you can like have conversations with your colleagues, with your peers, with your managers, and so on. But if you are in an international company, most likely it's going to be American. But for example, your manager is British and you have a very hard time understanding him because his accent isn't clear, then probably like focus on British a little bit. What you can do if your language is already strong is to provide yourself with that culture through the series. So the movies and series that are produced or made in the UK will probably help you overcome that little obstacle or that little bit of miscommunication, let's say, that happens between you and a British speaker. We need apps to help us talk. Well, Tahani, apps, I think currently a lot of people have been trying to speak more with ChatGPT, and there's a very nice AI tool called Elsa. Those two would probably be very good. However, the old apps, if you guys remember those, the Hello and all those language practice platforms, unfortunately, not all of them are very valid, and a lot of them are second language speakers, and unfortunately as well, sometimes there's no filter, so you can't guarantee if the person you're talking to is a nice human. Okay. Would you mind giving us some tips about excelling our conversation skills? Definitely, a menu. The best way to excel your conversation skills is to first figure out where the problem is. So after figuring out if the problem is in your language or if it's in your something called language anxiety, which is like my favorite thing in the world to work on. If it's something related to you being nervous about the language being your second language, not your first, then it's all in your head, literally. And so the best thing that you can do is push yourself really hard. If you feel like you are unable to pick up everything that is being said in a conversation, then you need to work on your listening. If you feel like your pronunciation is not very accurate and you're making a lot of mistakes, then maybe you should shadow. Someone mentioned shadowing earlier. I'm so sorry I forgot your name. But shadowing would be for you to see a series and then, or a scene from a movie or something, and then you would repeat that thing, that scene multiple times, so on and so forth. Only online. Yes, Hanan, welcome to Corona updates. Yes, I'm currently teaching only online. I'm not sure if that will change in the future or not, Hanan. I do believe Engli-Vision is going to be opening up a new branch soon. Um, but you can ask Mohga. Let me bring her number back so that you guys can have that there. Go ahead and contact Mohga for details about that, the branch, and if there will be anything offline there. But for now, my online courses or my conversation courses are going to be online. Let me get her number again. Whoops, here we go. Mezin is going to be American or British. My friend, I am unfortunately American. Yay! We do have a British speaker with us. His name is Mr. Tahsin. I don't know if he's starting a new round soon, but that's British English because he speaks British English. But I speak American English. I've tried practicing with some friends and a human of mine speak in the British accent, but we were both very bad. It was very bad. I need a lot of practice. Let's see. Ameni. Hello, Ameni. To correct your pronunciation, I do believe that ChatGPT has had that update where they give you a little bit of recommendations. But I do want to point out, Emily, that we are talking about pronunciation mistakes, not accent mistakes. All right. Fetis. My level is B1. I face hard problem, Fetis. To be B2 or C1, especially in speaking. Always I feel I speak slowly and I want to speak quickly as you're sorry. So that I now wanna travel to America to prove my level to be as native speakers. What is your advice for me? From this message, Fetis, what I think is happening is that you're translating from Arabic to English directly. There's so much Arabic in your sentences. The structure is a little bit off. So my guess is probably you're not watching a lot of things. And if you are, you're watching them with Arabic subtitles. So that needs to stop. Because I face hard problem to be B2. I know that you probably know the grammatical rule. I know that you know what's wrong in the sentence, but probably you're not used to hearing it or you're not used to saying it. During the course, are we going to participate and share our thoughts during the session via Zoom or just receive them? Oh, of course, Shaymat. Like I said before, I don't know if you were here for this, but conversations, specifically my conversation courses, are you. You guys are going to be speaking. I'm going to be here to push you to speak and give you a hard time if you don't speak. So that's basically it. The conversation course is going to be you guys speaking a lot. I'm going to be correcting and I'm going to be providing you context and better expressions and better ways to say things, for example. Best way to study speaking for IELTS, Ahmed, that is a question for Dr. Khalil, but depending on where your speaking skill is now and where you want to go, like what band you want to reach, there are some basic steps that you should be doing, and then there are some more advanced steps that you should be doing. The advanced steps are with Dr. Khalil. Lean, I love you too. Is it going to be American British? It's going to be American, Mezen. Tahani, how much it costs and details about times, both, please contact Miss Mohga. Mohga, if you can send your number on the chat as well so that it's easier for them to take it, that would be amazing. So if you haven't already, you can take a screenshot of the number or take the number from Miss Mohga from the chat. You're going to message her. She's going to message you the questions, and accordingly, you guys are going to reply. Remember, please, when you're answering the questions, you have to make sure that you are giving me a lot of detail. Do not write your answers before and read. Do not do that, please. And make sure you're in a quiet area. Yes, Hanan, it's only available online. Hi. No, the course is going to be 5 weeks, 10 sessions. Each session is 2 hours. I'm going to stick with you until you get tired of me. English subtitles or without is more beneficial. Noor, it depends on the skill that you're trying to improve. So, if you're trying to improve your listening skills, probably watch it without English subtitles. If you are trying to improve your vocabulary and grammar, maybe keep the subtitles. And this will help you pick up vocabulary a little bit better in different situations and different contexts. But if you are still thinking in Arabic, I highly recommend to watch it without English subtitles and without Arabic, like neither. When will the next round start? I believe, Ahmed, it's going to start within a week or two from now. We're going to give people a chance to sign up because I recently ended a round. So the new round, inshallah, will start after people have finished signing up. Customers are Indians. They might Mustafa. No bullies here, okay? Goodness. But yes, despite the fact that they have very good English, by the way, their language is very good. It's very rich. Their pronunciation is a little bit unclear. So good luck on that one. I think they've categorized that as a third accent. I think it's like an official thing. I think there's like British, American, and Indian. Not sure. I'm not going to be a bully like you, Mustafa. What makes our accent an Egyptian accent? There are a couple of things actually with Arabs in general, Abdurrahman, not just Egyptian per se. There is, oops, I need to see this. Yes, Musab, I'm reading it. I swear. 1 second. Let me just read the question before you. Yeah, so a couple of things that kind of show off an Arabic accent a little bit, not just Egyptian. The TH sounds, the R sounds, the CH sounds, the SH, but specifically the TH and the R. And the id, what id, yeah? Especially with Egyptians. I don't know why, but id في كل حاجة. No, no, right? So there's I watched this. It just there are a lot of things, right? I don't want to sound too evil because I'm trying to be an angel. I promised specific people that I will not be evil today. So, Mosab, yes, I am the instructor of the next round. My name is Aya. I promise. Where do you see Umayma? Who is Umayma? Okay. My accent is American, Marwa. Yes. My main problem that my first language is French, so I pronounce almost English word with my French accent. Can you tell me? Oh, let's see. Um, with speaking, I think you won't have a big problem finding words, so I don't know if your fluency will be affected. However, with pronunciation, it's something that's going to take a lot of time, Emily. So whether you're in a conversation course or not, if you don't actually put in the effort and the time to continuously repeat the word in English clearly, then most likely it's not going to be fixed very quickly. You have to keep doing this a lot. Is there a website which I can write in it a word and give me a movie scene that has this word? Actually, there's an opposite, Abdullah, which is what you should be looking for. Getting the word and then taking it out of the movie is still taking it out of context. We said we will not do that. Instead, you can watch the movie and then see how this word is used because most likely it's going to be used in many different ways, right? Shaban, I'm already recording the session, so when I'm done, Mohga is gonna send you the link to the recording. You don't need to record it on your computer. Save your internet. What should I do to be fluent besides this course? Listen to Aya. Listen to the things I give you, the assignments. I'm going to be giving you guys a mix of reading and listening that is going to impact your language as a whole. Our real problem is in fluency, not accuracy. So we have to work on that. Do you agree with me? Rida, it's actually, I don't agree with you because some people have very big problems with accuracy. So it's different for each person. However, fluency, like depending on the definition that I work with, accuracy is a part of fluency. Like if you're not able to give the sentence in the past, then you're not really communicating the past correctly. And so that's going to cause miscommunication, right? So can I improve this course? Marwa, send me your voice note and I will tell you what level you are, my dear. Then I will tell you if you're going to benefit or not. Once I give the assessment, I give it to Miss Mohga and I explain to her what level you guys are in, what your mistakes are, and which course will be the most beneficial for you. So don't worry. Just message Miss Mohga. She's going to let you know the questions. Once you give them to me and I assess it, I will let you know what is the best step for you. The days, Ahmed, are going to be determined with Miss Mohga because, alhamdulillah, she takes care of all of the logistics for me. So I have no idea what the days and the times are that she has agreed on with the students. All right. All the courses are in groups, not private. Raghda, specifically conversation, because I've taught both. But with conversation, you do need to be exposed to a variety of different mindsets, mentalities, experiences, and language levels. This is how you kind of form your language and form your skill because you're then able to deal with a different set, not just a specific person all the time, right? So I don't believe in conversation to be done in a private course, and I do not teach private classes. Times freak for 2 hours, and how much for this course? Adam, send a message to Mohga or Miss Mohga, and she will let you know all the details. Let's see, what level will you improve after this course? Well, I've had people, Sora, I've had students improve in the first week and jump 2 levels, and I've had people attend 1 or 2 sessions and not improve at all because they didn't do anything that I asked. And I've had people attend but not do the assignments, so their improvement was only half. And I've had people attend and do the assignments and jump levels. And actually, I've had a lot of people who took one level and they felt like that was enough for the language and they were perfectly fine. Because I work on the language as a whole. I don't work on it as like an academic subject. I give you all of the steps that you need to follow in order to see continuous improvement in your language, not just something on the spot. So if you apply this with me or without me, your language is going to improve. It is fossilized in the Egyptian mind, Shaban. I completely agree, unfortunately. Is it just for adults, Mazen? Yes, it is. If you have to be over 20 years old to join my course. I do believe we have a teenage diploma in Engli-Vision or a young learner's diploma, probably. But again, ask Miss Mohaga and she will let you know. Courses for IELTS offline. I'm not sure many. Also ask Mohaga. She will let you know as well. All right. I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was a pleasure seeing and meeting you. Mohaga has sent her number again on the group. So if you guys are interested to find out more about times, things like that, go ahead and text her. Yes, Ahlam. What's up? Hurry, hurry, hurry. You need to talk. Okay. Message me and message Mohga, and I will reply to your message, Mohga. No worries. Thank you for coming, Amani. Sara, yes, I use a lot of books and I use a lot of material. So yes, there's a lot of different things. Thank you, Noha, for dropping by. All right, everybody. Thank you, thank you. Have a good day or evening or everything. Shaima, yes, the hyperlink is in the chat, my dear. Hold on, let me, Mohga, make sure that it's to everyone. There we go. There we go. All right. Go ahead and click on the link. Message. Bye, Ragda. Bye, Noha. Yes. Wallah, Shayma, that's the link. Wallah. Click on it. All right. I will see you guys, inshallah, if you guys in the next round. All right. Be safe. Bye-bye. Bye, Zahra. Bye, Marwa.